This is our mini brick fill, again 4 different size bricks, and with this one we do a little bit of backtracking. So we'll do the largest one here. We line our reference line with the stitch line. We're going to sew up, across and down. Because we're on the edge, this first line will be on the stitch line going up the centre of the block. And now we're going to sew across. When we've gone down, we will sew back up again. So we'll sew down, stop at the line, back up again, stop at the corner. Now we'll move the template across, making sure everything is in line again. Sew our next brick. And down, up, and move across. Stop at the corner, move across. Again, we're checking our reference lines. We will come down the edge here. We will travel up. I will then relocate the template up, making sure that we're in line with the stitch of the previous row and making sure that our template is just touching that stitch, sitting on that stitch line. It's touching the stitch line here as well, and we'll sew across. If we do this, we will end up with rows of bricks that are sitting on top of each other. What we want to do is travel up and go to the halfway mark. So we'll go up. There is a halfway mark at the top here. I can now bring the template across, make sure we're lined up here. And this one I will sew down and up. Sew across, down and up, stop, move the template across, make sure our reference lines are in place. Down, up, move the template, checking our reference lines, go across. This one is a bit like the clamshells where it does draw things in, and we want our bricks to be sitting in the middle of each row. So each row is sitting stepped one over from the one before. We're going to sew up the edge again. This time we'll get a full brick. Just make sure we're in line. If you are doing a lot of these, you might want to put a vertical reference line that's running up just to make sure you keep in place. Reference lines keep us on track. If you don't have the reference lines, you might find that one side you end up sewing a lot lower than the other side, and you wind up with your bricks running at a downward angle on one end. And we're back at the edge, so you can see this is a nice quick pattern. The smaller our mini fills are, the longer they take to fill an area. This one here, I'm going to line up the edge and come up to the edge. So I'm using that reference line to get me into the correct position for the height. We need to be in the halfway position when we sew this. So we can line this line up here on the edge of the template, and that will put us in the right position. And there's our half brick. And this is the last row of our bricks for this corner. This is also a good way to practice backtracking. You have the template in place, you're not moving anything, and it's a good way to get your eye in to get those backtracks in the correct position. So that's our little mini brick film.